Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new lesson. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are still on operations on fractions, and specifically, we are looking at additive inverses. Additive inverses. So, without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So, when we talk of additive inverse, what do we mean? The additive inverse of any number at all is a number that when you add to the original one, the result is 0. You see, so sometimes we call it the opposite of a number. You can easily call it the opposite of a number. You see, so the property of additive inverse is stated that if you have any number at all, so let's take a as any number, you see, then there exists another number. For that number, let's call it negative a. Okay, so there exists another number such that if you take a and then you add it to its inverse, you should get 0. This is all on the property of what? Additive inverse. Okay, so I'm taking it again. It states that for any number, so if you have a as any number at all, then there exists a number. So that number, let's call it negative a, such that if you add a to its additive inverse, you get 0. What does this mean? So let's take some few examples. So to start it off, for basic explanation, let's just start with whole numbers. So if you have a whole number, what is its additive inverse? Let's take a whole number such as 5. Okay. So is there any number that when you add to 5, you are going to get 0? Yes, there is. So if we take 5, and then we add a negative 5 to it, what does it give us? It gives us a 0. You see, so it simply implies that our negative 5 is the additive inverse of 5. As simple as that. So for any whole number, its additive inverse is the negative of that same whole number. What of negative numbers as well? So talking of negative whole numbers, it is not different from the positive whole numbers, such that if we take a negative whole number like negative 12, you see, is there any number that when we add to negative 12 gives us 0? Yes. So if we take negative 12, then we add it to 12 itself, you see, we are going to get a 0. So we can also say it implies that 12 is the additive inverse of negative 12. You see how it is? But our focus on this lesson is to look for the additive inverses of fractions. That of fractions. So if you have been able to grasp the understanding of the whole number, that is both its negative and then positive counterpart, then let's look at how those of fractions are going to be. So when it comes to finding the additive inverses of fractions, it is as simple as the instruction you see on your screen. That is, if the fraction is a positive fraction, you see, all you need to do is to what? Negate it. So the positive fraction's inverse is the negative of the fraction. If the fraction is negative, then its inverse becomes a positive. You see, but if you understand how to multiply signs, that is negative times negative, giving you positive, you can easily conclude that this rule alone is enough. Hence, for any fraction you are being given, just negate it and you get its inverse. Let's take some examples and we see. So let's start with what we have here. It says find the additive inverse of 2 over 3. And we have said, based on this instruction, that you should just negate. You see. So what is it going to be? So just by following the instructions, we are going to say for 2 over 3, its additive inverse is going to be negative 2 over 3. Why? Because if you take 2 over 3 and we add it to the negative of 2 over 3, we are going to get a 0. As simple as that. So it simply implies that negative 2 over 3 is the additive inverse of 2 over 3, as simple as that. So you realize that this whole topic is very straightforward, you see. So let's solve some last few examples. So looking at these examples here, let's find their additive inverses. Now we are not going to solve anything, we are just going to follow the rules. So for the very first one, negative 7 over 9. Its additive inverse is going to be what? 7 over 9. Because if we negate it, it becomes positive. You see. Then for the second one, 3 whole number 1 over 4. Its additive inverse is going to be a negative 3 whole number 1 over 4. Then the last one, which is actually a decimal, you have negative 0.15. Its additive inverse is going to be what? A 0.15. So basically, this is all we need to know under additive inverses. As usual, I'll leave you with some exercises so you try them on your own. If this is your first time on this channel, you can choose to subscribe if you so do wish, so that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well. So here are just 5 questions you can try on your own just to test your understanding. See you in our next lesson. Bye for now, and then stay safe.